Hello everyone and welcome to this next question in the Ask the Artist series. The person who's asked for this question to be answered today has said, can you make sure that it's anonymously done, so I won't embarrass them by saying their name. But they got in touch on email and basically said this: look, you know, I'm a struggling artist and I'm doing a couple of part-time jobs and I'm trying to make ends meet and I'm just not getting anywhere. What advice or tips can you give? It's in no way meant to sound big-headed, because obviously you can see around you what I'm doing, and I do this, and I've got my friend Adrian who works with me, and there's the two of us earning a living from this, plus. But I do have some knowledge about this, and because I've been doing it now for a long time and having gone through the process of going from a similar situation to this, I think I've got, you know, some kind of reasonable idea about what it takes to do this. So I'm going to speak very candidly, and it might be that some of the things I say might upset you, or you might think, you big-headed idiot, or whatever it is. That's up to you. That's your opinions. I've got no issue with that. You can always press the pause button or go on to another page. But I'm going to do this now truthfully to make you have a look at what you're doing. So I'm doing this from a position of wanting to try and help you, rather than just standing here going, oh, well, it's because X, Y, and Z. Okay, so the question is, why am I struggling? What can I do? How can I do something to make people want to buy my work, and all the rest of it, right? Okay, forget all the technical stuff. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, websites, galleries, marketing, branding, forget all that. The reason that you're not in a position of doing this as a profession and earning money from it, more than likely stems down to the amount of work you've put in. And it's because you don't want it badly enough. So let that just sink in for a minute. You don't want it badly enough. Are you doing everything you possibly can to make this work? I mean, really. Have you got a target to work to? Have you got somewhere that says, in 5 years' time, this is what I want to be doing? The chances are that you can improve on all these. And a lot of success comes down to two things: how badly you want it, and the amount of effort you're prepared to put in to get it. And very often, we just wander around in a daze being busy fools. And it's one thing I've had to learn doing this now commercially and successfully, is you can't be a busy fool. You've got to do the right things at the right time, and really that comes down to experience. But I guarantee this: when you're falling asleep at your computer at 2:30 a.m. knowing you've got to get back up for 6, that's when the hard work really kicks in. Because then when everybody else has gone to bed, when you've got a problem you can't figure out, if you quit, you might as well quit for good. So you have to follow it through. Every problem, see it through to the very end. But I guarantee everything that you're doing now, you could do it better. You could do it smarter, and you can work harder. Now, it doesn't mean to say you've got to kill yourself in the process, but doing this is a hard game, or can be a very hard game, especially if you decide to do it the single-handed route, which is what I've done, which is, let's go out here for a second, which is no galleries or anything. That's exactly what I've done. I've just decided just to go the hard way around the houses and do this. So what it means ultimately is it doesn't matter how much you think you want it, you don't actually want it enough. So maybe you want to go question that. It is hard. Look, you know, there's a market for everybody. Everybody should be able to succeed, but you've got to put work in. Huge amount of work. And really now in this information day and age, where we're surrounded by electronic stuff and communication and people that, let me swap hands, and people, we can communicate in ways that we've never been able to communicate before. It's absolutely frightening as to how vast everything is, and it's quite overwhelming at some points. So be organised, decide what you're going to do, stick to it and do it, and create. I mean, I've worked 2 jobs in the past trying to learn. I didn't sell anything for 5 years because I'm trying to learn my craft, and I'm trying to learn what it is to have a business. I'm trying to learn what marketing is about. So I use the internet to do that. So you've got all these tools at your disposal. You've got every question you could possibly want answered on the internet. You've got other artists who are doing things. There's probably millions of pages of information which will help you get to where you need to go. But if you aren't prepared to put the work in, what's the point? I mean, that's the bottom line. You have to put that effort in. I lost most of my friends, only really kept two. Everything kind of disappeared. That was the sacrifice I had to make. Everything just disappeared because there was only one thing that was important, and that's this, and it still is. You know, and even today I've gone 4 or 5 months without taking any money whatsoever. And what does that do to your head? You know, as the money starts to run out, and you think no one wants to buy anything because nobody likes it. You know, the higher you go up, the stakes are bigger. So if you're struggling, and if you really, really want to get on, just sit down when you've read this with a blank sheet of paper and say, am I really doing everything I possibly can? That doesn't mean you have to work like an idiot, but it will require effort. You will have to maybe write a plan of action as to what you're going to do, but use the internet. What's everybody else doing? If you're ever satisfied and just content with what you're doing, then give up. I think you've got to constantly question things to get anywhere. But having said that, I think having a big mouth helps, and not being afraid helps. There's another takeaway. I used to get very scared about doing all kinds of stuff, but not anymore. Because, you know, we're a long time dead, aren't we? What does it matter? So if you piss a few people off and someone says something's crap, oh, nearly fell over then, get over yourself. It doesn't matter, okay, that's your opinion, whatever. Get lost, move on, do something else. If you've had 6 months of creative output and it's utterly shocking, and I go through those periods, it's hard. What are you going to do, just give up? So chuck it in the bin, start again. I don't know. I could waffle on forever and a day. I hope I haven't taken up too much of your day, but look, just go back and question everything. Am I really doing everything I can? Because you probably can do more, but do it in a much smarter way. Anyway, look, if you've got another question, please feel free to email me at info@swarez.co.uk, and I'll do my very best to answer them for you.